What's going down? It's the big baller, baby. I got some news for y'all. There's only one big baller in the world of podcasts, and it's my boys, Matt and Mooney. That's right. They the Triple B VIPs throwing it down every week. Food, music, sports on Subfacts. That's right. I got to give a huge shout out, man, from the big baller himself and my boy, Chico de Oro. Yes, Chico de Oro. That's my boy, my friend. That's right. You know how he gets down. Big Baller's got to hang together. Big Baller brand is in the building, and you know how he gets down. Again, go check out Matt and Mooney. They doing their thing. Subfacts in the building. But Big Baller's out, baby. And holla.
Hello and welcome to Subfacts. I'm your host, Matt. I'm here with my partner in crime, Mooney. What's up, Mooney?
You mean cheesing it up, Mooney, for the camera?
Oh, I know. This is like the first. Well, it's the second show we've done with live video. So
this is the second, but now we're dressed in our garb. We got the hats on.
We got to amp it up.
Rolling.
Yeah, I realized that literally I wear the same exact outfit for the last 3 years, so now I do have to switch it up. I'm wearing my got the Lehigh Valley Phantoms jersey.
Nice. Woo-hoo. Only 8 people know who they are.
Look it up, folks. Look it up. I am so excited for tonight's show.
You're excited?
Yeah, this one I think is probably one of our best gets up ever.
How do you think I feel? This is up your
alley.
wheelhouse.
This is your alley. So for a while I've been doing the TTM, do the mail autograph thing, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, we all know. Like I think more people know you do TTM than the people know Lee Valley All-Stars or whatever.
Lehigh Valley Phantoms. So anyway, so you goof on me for this whole thing, but this is how I got the guest that we have coming up.
Hey, man.
So yeah, so basically,
broken clocks are right twice a day, dude.
Yeah, there's a bunch of forums and on Facebook and whatnot, and I found we have on the phone sports agent Mike Maguire.
Awesome. What's up, Mike?
Hey guys, how are you? Thanks for having me on.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime. No, I found Mike because he hooked me up with some Pete Rose autographs and a Jose Canseco autographs.
You didn't let me know about the Pete Rose. I got a hat I need signed.
Well,
a Phillies hat.
I think we can handle that. We can definitely handle that. I'll be with him tomorrow, and I see him all the time. He's here in Vegas as well as several of my other clients. Like I don't know, maybe you've heard of Amos Otis, Bill Madlock, Greg Jeffries. They're all here too.
That's fantastic.
Oh, I've heard of all of those guys.
Yeah,
of course.
That's what I'm saying. This is almost like a gift for you, my friend.
Absolutely.
And so, and actually, what was really cool is when we were going back and forth on the Pete Rose autographs, I realized that sports agent Mike and I we went to the same college. We had the same trajectory.
George Mason.
George Mason Communications. We both worked at WGMU. We were just slightly off on the years, and we have obviously a different trajectory. I didn't end up as cool as Agent Mike.
We both didn't.
Guys. It's all cool at Thompson Hall.
I know, right? Yeah.
I was communications major too for like 1 year at Fredonia, which
you wanted to be a sports, didn't you? You wanted to be a sports commentator.
I wasn't the best at Fredonia.
Yeah.
If you're not the best sports announcer at Fredonia, you're not going to make it. That's just FYI to everyone out there.
I'll be honest with you.
Here's what happened, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I was the sports director of WGMU 1310 AM. We broadcast to like the parking lot of George Mason. And we had a little sports show on Wednesday nights called Sports Break. I had my staff of 12, and it was comically suggested that we try to get a press pass to go to a game. 8th largest market being D.C. You've got the Orioles at that time. You have, the Wizards, the Capitals and all that stuff, the Redskins. I'm like, okay, sure. Let's give it a try. We had this old dot matrix like fax printer that we sent just to see what would happen, a press credential request to the Washington Capitals. 2 hours later, we were granted credentials.
Awesome.
And we didn't know what to do with ourselves.
But that's pimp.
We went to the game, and all of a sudden we're realizing there's 18,000 people watching the Capitals take on the Rangers, and we just got free press food, a free VIP parking pass, and 2 tickets to a suite to watch the game. And we're like, we could get used to this.
See, I think that's where I went wrong in my career, because when I was on WGMU, it was, extremely low budget, as Mike just, kind of mentioned. But my big get was I interviewed Ron Jeremy, the porn star, and they wouldn't let me air it. And I was like, do you realize this guy's a legend? I was like, everybody knows him, but nope.
Our big get was in studio at the Johnson Center my senior year. We had Dustin Diamond.
Oh, way to go,
nice.
Screech. Yeah.
He was advertising his, I guess he had a local, at Thunder Jacks or whatever it was called, Hammer Jacks, I should say, and the Rams. He and his band Salty the Pocket Knife were in town.
What?
He gave us, it was great. He was funny, and we had a good time. But one thing led to another with the press passes, and we were sitting alphabetical order one night at a Capitals game in '99, I want to say, and the ESPN radio guy was sitting next to me, alphabetical order, and he had gotten sick on the press food, and he said, with his broadcast gear in front of him, my name's Craig, what's yours? I'm like, it's Mike. He goes, nice to meet you, Mike. You're on in 2 minutes. And I go, what do you mean I'm on in 2 minutes? He goes, my stomach is churning. Just give him 20 seconds of the score, where we are, give him your name, and don't screw it up. And he left. So I pressed the yellow button. They came to me live. I did the thing, and I became his boss 2 years later.
Oh my God,
that's insane!
Fantastic.
7 years later, 7 years with ESPN, the especially slow-paying network. My paychecks came with a Mickey Mouse in the upper left-hand corner because they're owned by the ABC Go network, and I loved having a full-time job in college when all my cohorts in class were trying to get internships. I was working for ESPN, getting paid every night to broadcast. That's when Michael Jordan was with the Wizards.
Oh my God. MJ with the Wizards.
I was getting paid to go interview Michael Jordan and Jaromir Jagr and Wayne Gretzky and all those guys. And here I am. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And then one thing led to another. They sent me to a alumni golf tournament.
Pimp.
Where are they now kind of thing. They had me set up on the 18th hole, get 60 seconds with ball players so they can plug their book or their charity. And Willie Mays stiffed me on my interview.
Oh, dagger.
The next guy came up was Jim Bibby, threw a no-hitter, was the Lynchburg Hillcats and Lynchburg, Virginia coach for many years. And he goes, hey, kid, why don't you do me a favor? I'm like, what is that? And he goes, well, open up the phone book. This is how old this is. We had phone books. He goes, open up a phone book and get me a signing. I heard Willie Mays got a signing. You get me one, too. I said, well, I don't really know anything about that. He goes, well, here's $20. Find something, make a phone call. If they say yes, I'll give you 10% and you keep the 20. They say no, you still made the 20. You're going to go on lunch on Old Bibby. I go, sure. So I open up the phone book, found Burke, Virginia, sacks are loaded, baseball card shop. And I say, the guy turned out to be from Pittsburgh. And he goes, sure, I'd love to have Jim Bibby. And I wasn't expecting a yes. So then I was in stage 3 fright. I didn't know what to say for how much he was charging. So I said, how about $600 for 2 hours? The guy's like, sure, I would have paid $1,000. And it started from there. One thing led to another, and I now have 154 guys, including Pete Rose, Jose Canseco, Dave Steve, Wally Joyner, most of the 87 twins, most of the 91 twins, new Hall of Famer Jim Kaat, and then Washingtonian fan favorite Frank Howard.
Wow, Frank Howard, Wally Joyner was a stud for a little bit there for the Angels.
So you alluded to something. How does that work? And I've like, so they get an upfront fee, and then whatever you make off of it, like you get whatever the signatures come back at. Like how does that work?
So say you have John Smith signing for 2 hours, and he's getting $1,000 to be there.
Mm-hmm.
My ball player will usually give me 10 or 15%, depending on how generous they are.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I get $100, $150. And then he calls up some of his buddies and we go from there. But most of the guys are well over $1,000 now. I mean, Jose is right around $6,500 for 2 hours. And then Pete Rose is $25,000. So 10% of $25,000, you're making a mortgage payment and a car payment. And you're doing pretty well.
There you go. Because Mooney and I go to the
That's a
sports
pretty
shows.
good car payment.
We go to the CSA sports show that comes up a couple times a year.
I've been going since 1995, Chantilly.
There you go. Well,
Oh, were you there? We were there the last one.
we'll be there in July too.
I was there, especially in October, where I brought Jim Kaat and I brought Jose there, and I will be there in October when I bring Jim again and a couple other players.
Oh, sweet. We'll have to hook up.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to meet up then, because I know there's another one in July that we'll be going to. But then, yeah, they have the one in October. Yeah, we'll definitely be there.
I will be missing the summer one because I have to be in Cooperstown.
That sucks.
Oh, that sucks.
That's a tough loss there.
Guys, as cool as Cooperstown's museum is for baseball, the better tour is when they hand you white gloves and you go down 3 floors down below the ground and you see what's not on display.
Oh, so you get to see
the Holy Grail.
Nice. Like,
here's some white gloves. Go ahead and pick up Babe Ruth's bat and swing it around.
Nice. The secret menu. That's awesome.
There you go.
That bat was like 52 ounces, like a tree log.
Damn, that is
so
52 ounces?
Yep.
Yeah, he was a big dude though too, right?
Yeah, but still.
But you got to swing that thing.
Yeah, I know.
You got a 95 mile per hour fastball. You're trying to swing a 52. Do the math. What is it, like a 3-pound bat or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I was trying to.
I was 3.5 pound bat. Yeah,
that's how much I know about baseball.
Wow.
No wonder they said that nobody but the Babe could hit a ball that got smaller, quicker than anyone else.
And by the way, that bat weight is like all in the barrel. So like that first part of that weight is like maybe like not even a half pound.
But isn't it like bowling though? When you have like a heavier ball, you have a better chance of knocking the pins down.
So,
but you still got to make contact.
No, because you got to swing it the whole way through. A bowling ball, you go back up and then it comes through naturally because it's got to go back down. A baseball bat doesn't have to go down. It doesn't have to swing right to left or left to right.
Fair enough. That's why I'm banned from Cooperstown. They're just going to be like, you're going to ask idiotic questions. You're done. So
Pete Rose always said it doesn't matter how big the bat was because he could have swung a 6-foot table and he still would have missed whenever Sandy Koufax was pitching.
So I have to. So at this point, like I'm sure you've had sports idols that you idolized growing up as a kid. Have you met them, or is there anybody out there that you would still like to meet at this point?
I pretty much have been fortunate enough over the last 22 years to meet just about everybody I ever wanted to. I mean, I met Sandy Koufax and Hank Aaron, and I introduced Willie Mays into the Negro League Hall of Fame Museum in Kansas City. I got to introduce him and MC Hammer at the same time. That was quite a treat.
Awesome. You ever meet Don
entertainment and sports. I have, absolutely. I used to be the community relations director of the Bob Feller Baseball Museum, and we'd bring in all kinds of guys in little old Des Moines, Iowa, where he was born.
Oh, that's right. He was in Iowa.
But the best part is traveling with the guys, because you get to hear, if you're on a 3-hour flight with Pete Rose, you're hearing all the stories. He goes, Mikey, if this plane goes down and we crash, you're an other. I go, what does that mean? I'm an other? He goes, yeah, the paper tomorrow is going to be Pete Rose and 150 others crash.
Right. No, it's true. Yeah.
That's Pete is like Pete would be such a legend. I couldn't imagine being in the same room with him talking to him.
No, I would ask him a ton of questions because he likes to party.
Like I've established I don't really watch baseball, but I think I would fangirl over Pete Rose.
Oh yeah.
Like I grew up.
By the way, if it's true, I think he has an Asian wife, which
Does he really?
Kiana is his fiance, and she's a wonderful, wonderful person.
See?
Okay,
she's a doll.
So we should let you know, Mooney is essentially like Godzilla when it comes to the Asians. He's got an Asian wife, and he only has eyes for hot Asians. So
yeah,
she's wonderful.
That's awesome.
Way to go. So
I like Pete even more.
I'd want to interview Pete, and then you'd want to interview his wife or fiance.
I'm going to get Pete Rose's and his fiance's autograph.
That would be awesome.
I'll wait for Pete to come on the show to share some of his stories, but he's got some great ones because one of his childhood buddies from a couple couple houses down was Don Zimmer. There's a baseball name.
Oh my God, Don Zimmer, absolutely. He's
That
one
was
of the
his
few
buddy
guys.
growing up.
He's one of the few guys, like, he never had another job other than baseball. He started in baseball when he was like 13 and like managed and like benched and like played. And like the guy never did anything but baseball his entire life.
That's awesome.
He's a lifer.
Love that dude. Of course, I'm a Yankees fan. So and then when he went to fight Mariano Rivera, that not Mariano, Pedro Martinez. That's right.
When was
I
that?
like when I'm on the road with Jose Canseco for an event, because when we check in to get our hotel rooms, I always say it's Maguire and Canseco checking in.
That is great.
And I was gonna say
That's awesome.
The other thing
Sorry,
is, I got to go with the biggest name, but also, is there anybody that, like, they always say never meet your heroes? Is there anybody that
Yes.
Although probably
For Jeff Reardon, it was meeting Tom Seaver, and for me, it was meeting knuckleballer Tim Wakefield. He was as blah and dull. All 3 times I met him privately. One was as a reporter. I go, it's really nice to meet you, Tim. Let's talk about the game. He's like, no thanks. I go, okay. I put the microphone down. I go, I remember you when my family's from Pittsburgh. I have your rookie jersey from '92. He's like, good for you. I'm like, oh, okay. So I let it go. Saw him again about 2 years later. I was waiting with with Mike Timlin, and he grabbed Timlin, and they went out to dinner right in the middle of my interview, and he couldn't have cared less.
Wow.
Oh man, that's disappointing.
Well,
so yeah, that was a tough one.
I hope the next time Mike gets asked this question, he's not like, well, I met Matt Mooney from Subfacts. Boy, were they disappointed.
I do have a positive one. Meeting Gary Carter was a treat.
Nice. There's another big name. These are all.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't heard any.
Wheelhouse Central for me.
It was all these former Expos all live in West Palm Beach. It was Bill Gullickson, Jeff Reardon, Gary Carter, and there was 2, Warren Cromartie and another one. They're all in the same cul-de-sac on PGA Boulevard in this section of West Palm Beach in the golf community. And I go, Jeff Reardon, I go, this is a heck of a neighborhood. He goes, son, we give out full-size bars in our neighborhood at Halloween.
That's awesome. Awesome.
So do you strictly, from a work perspective, only deal with retired MLB players, or do you have like football, hockey, anybody?
I have 90% baseball, and I do have some smattering of other. I've gotten to work with John Provost, who's the original Timmy from TV's Lassie, Chelsea Ross, who was Eddie Harris in Major League. I've done some work with Tillman, the skateboarding bulldog from the Apple iPhone commercials.
Oh wow. You were about Mooney.
Chelsea Ross. I was trying to think of the Eddie in Major League. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He was also, he was in a bunch of other sports movies too. I mean, he was Dan Devine in Rudy. He was in
one of the greatest of all time.
Bad
Boys. He was the football coach. I mean,
oh yeah.
No one comes in here and pushes us around.
Yep. I'm trying to. Was he is he the president or the governor in the last Boy Scout movie? I think that's the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that dude.
Good pull.
That's one of my favorites.
And then he was also the drunk in Hoosiers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's been in a ton of things.
Wow, that's good stuff.
Awesome.
Super nice guy.
Hey, I got a question for you. I'm going to try to jump in. It's going to be a little sort of off topic, but you are primarily baseball. So, like, how do these lockouts happen? Like, I know there was one this year, and there's been plenty over time. Like, how do these lockouts start? Like, they're so annoying. In
layman's terms, it's all about the almighty dollar. In this particular case, there's a lot of almighty dollars out there coming from different revenue streams. And it doesn't get funneled down to the lower ranks like the minor leagues and the retired guys as much as it should. I realized there was just a settlement made a couple of days ago where the minor leaguers are getting a higher minimum wage. But for the most part, the disparity between the two is quite insane. If you played in the 90s and 2000s and you're now retired, regardless of what your salary was when you played, you're getting about 95 to 9600 a month in your pension.
Whoa!
But if you played in the 60s or 70s, your pension is far less, about $5,000 a month, or even some of the guys in the 60s, depending on how many years you played, they may only be getting $2,500 a month. I mean, sure, it's still free money, but if you hit that magic 10-year mark, or poor Corey Snyder, who I represent, he's 131 days shy of 10 years.
Oh.
So, yeah, he's not getting his full pension, which is kind of absurd. But that's why when you look at things like the Chris Bryant situation where they manipulated service time, it's a big deal in the fourth run.
That's crazy. So what about Bobby Bonilla? When does his pension start? Because he's still getting paid.
He has decided not to take his pension just yet because I believe if he took it now, it'd only be like 70%. So he's got to wait a couple more years if he wants his full pension. But in the meantime, he's getting a little over $1 million. Bobby Bonilla Day is coming up.
Oh, that's right. It is coming up.
It is.
You have to explain it to me. I'm sitting here going,
Bobby Bonilla, when he was with the Mets, signed can you tell him the details? Because I don't know, but it's like a 40.
It was a deferred payment agreement because the Mets were strapped for cash. He wanted to look like a good guy to still get whatever he wanted for, and came up with the idea that, hey, we're still within our salary cap and within your budget. Just defer my paychecks. I'm happy to be able to live, on 8 figures now, but take care of me later with interest. They thought it was a great thing. Now, in retrospect, it was only great for Bobby.
Absolutely.
It's like 30 years now he's getting paid.
That's fantastic.
And on the lesser side of things, Ken Griffey Jr. has a deferred payment going on still with the Reds.
Oh, my God. Because Ken Griffey still has with the Reds?
Ken Griffey, wow. Here's something that'll blow your mind. Currently, Ken Griffey Jr. is the fifth highest paid player with the Cincinnati Reds on their current payroll.
Well,
the Reds are terrible.
We have a Griffey.
He's making more than some of their starting lineup now.
Wow. We have a Griffey story as well. We were actually, Mooney and I were at an adult entertainment club years back. And I'm going to stress this for legal sake. It was definitely not Ken Griffey Jr., but there was a guy wearing a Griffey uniform, or
that's right.
He was wearing the jersey, and my man was dropping all kinds of hundreds, but he was extra touchy-feely, let's just say. And so there's a certain maneuver the guy was using, and we've been calling it a Griffey ever since. So it's not the same guy.
I cannot believe he's still getting paid. That's insane.
I heard that Griffey played a Tuesday at Augusta with Nick Saban.
Oh my God, that is so awesome. Nick Saban.
So I have to ask too, what's the greatest sporting event you've been to?
Oh, good question.
I've done 9 of the last 13 Super Bowls. I've done 4 World Series.
Oh, we lost you, I think.
No, I've done 9 of the last 13 Super Bowls.
And then you said 4 World Series?
World Series. Yep, 4 World Series. I've done Olympic Games. I've done all kinds of different things.
What about the Masters? Ever been there?
No, I haven't been to the Masters.
So what was there like one that stands out the best, whether it be at a Super Bowl or
yeah, but it's not what you would think.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, that's why we asked.
That's why I'm asking.
And I did it because I worked it. I was the youngest ever Virginia representative for the Little League World Series as an umpire.
Nice.
Wow. That's in Nebraska.
That was unbelievably fun because you're around a bunch of kids, a bunch of smiles, they're pin trading, and you bump into like Oral Hershiser and Nomar Garciaparra, and you bump into Greg Maddux, and they're all sharing hot dogs with you, and it's nothing but a great time.
That's pimp. All those guys are crazy good.
Oh, I do.
Did you ever have to like check a kid's license to make sure he was like okay to play, or no? I'm kidding.
Oh no, I was the second base umpire for game. Once you umpire Little League World Series, you're never allowed to do it again.
Really?
It's a one and done opportunity because it's considered an honor and a privilege. Yeah.
Oh man, that's cool. That's a nugget.
I had to qualify by umpiring games in Poland.
Poland.
You're Polish.
Yep. So
this guy's my dog.
Flew me over to Poland, and yeah.
It's gonna be you by far Mooney's favorite guest we've ever had, because he's Polish and sports. But I have to ask you. Okay.
I've got a ball player that when I go to take him his fan mail, he pays me in cold hard cash that he gets out of the freezer because he wants to be able to say that the money is cold hard cash.
Hey,
so
I've got a question.
Brian?
So, hey,
I
I don't know if Mike can hear me. Mike, can you hear me? This is Brian. I wanted to know,
I can.
do you ever have problems with like other agents trying to poach your guys?
Oh, awesome question.
All the time. It's a nonstop issue, yes. And there is less loyalty among ball players than you would hope.
Really?
Ouch.
Which is why I like the old time guys, because a handshake and their word means something.
Huh. I can see that. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Case in point, I was with Jim Kaat, new Hall of Famer Jim Kaat, for 13 years. He got selected as a Hall of Famer in December, just 5-6 months back, and he got called by no fewer than a dozen other agents, and were offered some really nice deals, and he turned them all down for loyalty for me and said, "Where were you the last 13 years?"
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, I love that story.
Dude, that's a big
awesome.
like F.U. burger. Like,
Yeah, that's a Jerry Maguire.
And
right
one of the
there.
most fun events I have coming up is with Jose Canseco here in Las Vegas at the Pro FC Lights soccer game, where it's dollar juice night, not dollar beer, dollar juice night. So you can get juiced and watch Jose hit home runs.
That's fantastic.
that's cool. That's really, really cool.
Wow.
Say, hey, what's your thoughts on the Atlanta Braves having a $900,000 burger at their stadium that comes with a World Series ring?
I'm still shocked they got a second ballpark so quickly. I mean, the poor folks in Chicago and Boston are still 100-year-old ballparks. And what was Turner Field, 20 years old or so?
Yeah, that's it. Something like that.
Yeah.
And it's time to just get rid of it and get a new one.
You can't get rid of Fenway though. That's my favorite ballpark ever. Man, that was sad.
Sure.
I have to ask, because we talked about Pete Rose, and I think Pete Rose would be probably one, like I said, the best guest we could ever ask for.
After.
But I'm also thinking,
Mike
oh
Maguire,
no, absolutely. But I mean, like the other one that always pops into my head would be so great to hang out with. But have you ever hung out with Bob Uecker?
Oh, good question. Why did I think of these good questions?
Great baseball ambassador. Great story. Super funny. Grumpy in person.
No
Really?
way.
See, I always think he would be so fun to hang out with.
Incredibly unapproachable.
Oh, well, there goes my whole dreams.
Oh
of that.
my God, that sucks. Because he's in Major League. He looks awesome.
But I blame some of the fans for that, because I've seen it with Jose and I saw it with Bob. We're trying to have dinner and people coming up, interrupting when he's eating his food. Hey, can I have a selfie? Hey, can I have an autograph? Hey, can you just say just a bit outside? Come on, just for me and my kid. And he's like, I'm eating. Can we do it after I'm done? No, I'm going to go. And
Oh, man.
the lack of privacy has ruined a lot of guys.
Yeah, you got to, man, that's.
Yeah, that's me. I'm sorry. No, I'm just
Which is why a lot of guys like to just handle fan mail so that they can still be in touch with their fans and yet maybe stay home because of COVID, or they don't like to travel as much anymore. And I handle a lot of the fan mail for Greg Jeffries, Jose Canseco, Bill Madlock, Jim Kaat, all with my P.O. box. Is it okay to give out the P.O. box?
Yeah,
guys?
absolutely,
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Mike Maguire, P.O. Box 6, just the number 6, Blue Diamond, Nevada 89004. P.O. Box 6, Blue Diamond, Nevada, 89004. Be happy to take care of everybody's Greg Jeffries, Jim Kaat, Bill Madlock, and Jose Canseco fan mail requests.
Sweet. Did you go to the did you just go to the Vegas NFL draft? I'm a big NFL draft geek, and
I did. Great times. I bumped into Terry Bradshaw. I bumped into Barry Sanders.
Awesome.
Yeah, Rich Eisen.
Nice. That's like a mecca. Those are all, Barry Sanders, man. That guy's so cool.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, and
Think what he was able to do on the field with those tree trunk legs.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Hey, Mike.
He played only 7 or 8 years, and he got set all sorts of records.
He's just a wonderful, wonderful person.
Hey, Mike, I got another question for you. So, have you ever repped anybody that's still in the game, or do you just do strictly retired guys?
Just retired guys, but I will be soon working with, and this is how old I am. Some of my clients now have children that are ready to play, whether that's Corey Snyder with his son Taylor, who's a AAA prospect right now with the Colorado Rockies, or Mitch Williams, whose son Declan is ready to enter the Major League Baseball draft just out of high school as a top prospect for baseball and football, all-state running back in New Jersey. So it's Father Time comes around.
Wow, that's
Declan,
really cool.
Yeah, a huge prospect. How's that? Al Leiter's kid just came out, right? Jack Leiter. He came out last year.
I don't know much about him now.
yeah.
Look at you,
But
man.
you've heard about Declan. You've heard about Declan, haven't you?
Of course. Yeah, like Matt said, I'm a super nerd when it comes to sports and everything, all 4 major sports. I even go into soccer and horse racing and all that kind of stuff.
No one watches soccer.
One of the most fun soccer experiences was working with Pele.
No way. Pele?
This was 4 years ago. I went with Pete Rose to an appearance out of the country to be part of a King of Kings event where it was, the top guy in baseball, the top couple of guys in football, top guy in soccer. We all got together for a big gala, and what a wonderful time that was. I turned my head, and there's Dr. J. Turn my head again. Obviously, there's Pele. He's at my table.
Oh, man. That's fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Man. I would love to have been there.
Wow, that's fantastic. Mike, I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, we got to have you on again. That was,
I could sit here for hours.
Yeah,
absolutely. At this point. But definitely, I can't speak highly enough about Mike. I've worked with him in getting Pete Rose autographs, as well as I got my Jose Canseco rookie cards today
for CDO. He's going to be very happy.
Absolutely. So, sports agent Mike Maguire, can't thank you enough.
Absolutely. Thanks, buddy, dude. It was awesome.
We'll definitely stay in touch, and anytime you want to come back, you're always welcome.
Yeah, please.
My pleasure. How about we send some of my clients your way so they can talk baseball with you?
Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That would be
a dream come true. And we'll definitely have Brian reach out to you and see what we can pull off. It'd be fantastic.
Thanks again, man.
We'll talk to you later. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye. How cool was that?
Super jealous.
Yeah, that's amazing. Can you imagine
hanging out with all those people, meeting all those people? That's what I need to do. That's
know.
Me.
You're in the wrong field, sir.
Absolutely.
You were meant to be I
would never go home stressed if I did that. I would have been like, what up?
I'm not gonna lie, that Pete Rose story about being the other is so fantastic.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly right.
That's a legitimate thing.
He's exactly right. He wasn't kidding.
No. And the fact that Pete knows this and is probably you're another.
He's you're another.
I
would pay to be another though. That would be
awesome.
awesome.
I hate flying. That I'm gonna have to use that now. I'm gonna be you're another.
That'd be awesome.
It's fantastic.
I wouldn't be bragging about it. I was almost another.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's we both went to the same school. We got the same education. I ended up here. He's met everyone.
Hey, you never know though. He may like brothers in arms. Like he may just like our trajectory now. If he gets like Pete Rose and
Yeah.
others.
So do you think we're in kind of like the skulls? Like, where it's like you have that alma mater in case that you go, well, hey, one brother helps another one out. So
yeah,
if
absolutely.
if
we're
we
legacy now.
Oh, we're definitely legacies. And so
best sports podcast.
Yeah. We just won an Ambie right now for that interview. So, hey, speaking of legacies,
I like to think we interviewed him better than any sports podcast ever interviewed him or anybody.
Why not? Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I'm disappointed about the uke though. Like,
oh, Daggerville.
Like I do in my head. I think us. I need you when it comes to sports people. I kind of need you in there too. So I think,
I have uses.
Yeah, so I think it's us hanging out with Euchre would be so fun. But
here's the thing. I think he said it right. I don't know if Euchre's grumpy. Well, he's obviously grumpy. He would know.
Yeah.
But I would think if you caught him when he knew he was meeting a fan, he would probably be better.
Yeah. Like I think if we were all hanging out, private sports bar or something like that, I'd have to drink. I don't normally, but I would have to in this case. If we're kicking back some beers, he's probably fantastic.
Of course. And he would loosen up and
absolutely. I would go for the selfie,
Tim Wakefield, crazy because just remember Tim Wakefield. I'm going to bring him up when I do the Mooney Sports.
Oh, okay,
thing.
Cool. What I did want to bring up, we had a little bit of a interesting situation yesterday.
We did.
So, folks, Mooney and I have definitely established that we are brothers. We have brothers. We're brothers in the show.
Hey,
we have brothers.
Hey, Mom, we just found out we're brothers.
Did we just become best friends? No, like we both have older brothers.
Yes,
that have obviously been on this show.
Yes,
and so, Mooney and I were at work with the person who coined this phrase.
Whatever, you stupid.
So we were sitting at work, and I was establishing the fact that
no, you were talking about your
good-looking people. No, I was saying how good-looking
that's right.
people.
We're talking about good-looking people.
We were establishing that like good-looking people have an easier road through life. No matter what you do, if you're a good-looking person, you have a much easier road to hoe.
Dude, when you're a good-looking person, Yellow Brick Road plays everywhere you go.
Exactly.
Follow
exactly.
the Yellow Brick Road. Like it plays,
and they don't have to work their personality. You and I, all the listeners out there,
look at these faces.
Yeah, the people that are watching this are going.
Faces for radio.
Yeah, we're not lying when we're not.
Yeah, we didn't. That's not a lie.
Yeah, so I was establishing that BK, who's been on the show many a times, has had a much easier situation because, he's a decent looking dude.
Good looking cat.
And he's got charisma. You've heard him on the show. And
he's got personality.
He's had an easier road, when it comes to like the ladies and that kind of thing.
Of course.
And it's more like they fall into good lucky situations. Like BK
fortune follows.
Like them. BK will have a situation where he should be homeless, but he's like, I didn't have a place to stay, so a rich guy, put me up in his mansion while he's on vacation.
No. He's the guy who walks out of the casino with a quarter left and puts it in and hits for $1,000.
Yeah. So I start bringing that up, and so the person who T, who actually was on the show too, so I can just say her name. She was like, well, what does your brother look like?
Yeah.
So
you're like, bing, bing, bing.
We went to an event this past weekend, so I had a picture from it. So I showed her the picture, and she's like, oh yeah. What she said something like, she goes,
yeah, he's really good looking. He's better looking than you.
He's better looking he's attractive. He's better looking than you. Just like how.
No, wait, hold on.
Oh, good.
So he's better looking than you, and you're like, oh, thanks, right?
No, but I knew that. I wasn't fighting it.
You didn't fight it.
No.
And then she's looking at BK's kids and going, wow.
He produces beautiful kids, all this stuff.
And by the way, we're at work where this conversation is going on.
Mooney was minding his business.
Yeah,
he was actually
I'm
working.
On phone calls and working.
He was actually working.
And then she audibly, not just like to Matt, like she didn't just go, hey Matt, like chill, like it wasn't any of those.
She made it known.
She made it known. She goes, yeah, just like Mooney's brother. Oh no, she goes, both of you have brothers that are better looking than you.
Yeah, you got
I'm
called
like,
out.
what the how did I get it looped in here?
I know, like I was agreeing on my side, and you.
But out of the blue, proactively had to remind me my brother was better looking.
She was like, "Hold on, let me punch you in the gut really quick."
And then I even came over like, how did I get involved? She goes, you know your brother's better looking. She even doubled down, was like, you're dumb if you don't think your brother's better looking.
That's why we need this video. Like now that we're doing video, we need this
stand-ins.
No, well, that too. But I think we need this to take off, because what happens is when we blow up YouTube style, then money kicks in. That automatically makes us better looking.
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to get our comeuppance, my friend.
Yeah.
We are. And she's going to eat those words. I was thinking about it. Like,
yeah, she will. She'll be like, oh my God, no, you're the better looking brother. And I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it like Jim Kaat did to, what do you call it? Did for Mike Maguire. I'm going to be like, sorry, hon, this train's already left the station.
Boom. Yes. And when we're hanging with Pete and we're not others, they'll be the others. We'll bring them on the flight. And we're going to be like, you do realize you're others.
Like, who are you bringing on the flight? Oh, no, just others.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring that part up because, apparently we're the ugly brothers.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Like, thanks a lot, T.
I know. I was like, way to go. Speaking of family members, though, I do have to give your mom some kudos.
Nice.
Because I love your mom.
Yes, you do. You mentioned it in many of them.
She wrote into the mailbag this past week about last week's episode, and she was wrong. She meant she didn't think that I mentioned anything about Mother's Day.
We did it quick, right?
Like, no, we did it, and at the end of the show, I even gave her specifically Happy Mother's Day.
She probably didn't make it to the end of the show.
So so she was incorrect, but the best thing about it is she immediately wrote an email back and was like, hey, I stand corrected. I do see how you did that.
Awesome.
Thank you, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, your mom's a stand-up lady.
Stand-up. That's why I'm a stand-up person.
Not many people would actually come back and they would just let it happen.
Moonies do that. They admit when they're wrong.
The Moonies are stand-up. So definitely props to your mom. Kudos.
Awesome.
And now we're emailing back and forth. Hello, Mooney's mom.
Oh, wait a minute. Weren't we talking about? Oh my God.
Mingling's mom.
Dude, you had the best this week. Dude, you have to tell the story. This literally was my most genuine smile, happy moment of the week.
So we were once again talking at work. It sounds like the people who actually know us in our personal lives, they think we don't do anything at work. We actually do work.
We do some work.
Some of the conversations that come up are pretty crazy. And in this one, how Mooney has the whole Asian fetish. And so T was showing her various friends and whatnot.
Oh, that's right.
And one of them was attractive.
We forget the name, so we're not even.
Yeah, we don't even know the names. So
she was 60.
Yeah, one of them's, and so.
And I was like, whoa.
And she was better looking than the daughter.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I don't know their names, but I'm like, Mingling's mom has got it going on. Mingling's, and you lost it.
Dude, so, that was so hilarious for me.
Yeah.
Like, Mingling's I can see mom. It like, what's your mom doing after making pho?
So Mingling's mom.
Pho.
That could be the title of the show, Mingling's mom.
Mingling's mom.
So
it was great.
Yeah, it was definitely.
I think there need to be who was it, Bowling for Soup, or who made that song?
Oh no, I actually saw them live. Who was it?
You saw them live.
I did.
How would you go see them live? They have like 4 songs.
No, because a couple years ago, Art from Everclear did I do
like Everclear.
He did like an unplugged Fountains of Wayne.
Fountains of Wayne.
He did an unplugged concert, and he brought his friends out. And his friends, he had like the lead singer of Eve 6, who did some Eve 6 songs, and Fountains of Wayne guy, and then he had Marcy's Playground guy. So it was all like the lead singers.
I think they should do a super band and do Mingling's mom.
Mingling's mom would be solid. But no, I heard the real one, Stacy's mom, live. It was pretty cool. Anyway. So yeah, it's officially Mingling's mom from now on because I can't hear it any other way. So now it's time.
I'm gonna have to write lyrics. Complete new. I'm gonna Weird Al Yankovic make that song.
There you go. So now it's time for Matt's backstage pass. I don't have
Backstage
cool.
pass.
I
We
don't
need
have cool
music.
theme music for it, but I know somebody who can get me theme music. Really
Yes, we
exciting.
do.
Speaking of family members, this weekend BK and I are going to see Limp Bizkit on tour.
Oh my! What?
Can't
How do they
wait.
still tour?
You know what's funny?
Limp Bizkit.
So they were in like major hibernation for years. They put out an album like 10 years ago that no one cared about called Golden Cobra. So then like
cool name though.
last
Cool
year,
name.
True. So last year they performed at Lollapalooza and had a huge like response.
Wow.
So then they put out an album. It's called Still Sucks, which is funny.
Still sucks.
And so what I've noticed is, you know, they always got clowned and that kind of stuff, but they have a ton of like hits. When you really start to think about Limp Bizkit, you just hit after hit. And this tour that they've been on, I've seen all kinds of reviews and it's fantastic. So I've seen the footage and
what kind of hits? What are some of their hits? I don't know if they're
like Nookie. I did it all for the Nookie.
Oh, that song's good. I like that song.
And then like rearrange and break stuff and
you know, act like these songs everybody knows.
They do. They pretty much like literally if you looked at their set list, you wouldn't know the first 3 songs because they're from the new album. After that, hit after hit after hit.
But is it like I would recognize the song, but maybe
like
not
My
by
Generation, My Way. You would know that. You would know them if you heard them.
If I heard them, not by title alone.
All I know is BK and I will see him on Sunday. I'll give you a full
Where at
report.
the TO?
Oh no, this is at the Baltimore Arena, which I hate. I downright hate it. But it's going to be exciting.
I was going to say,
Fred Durst sounds fantastic.
At that same arena where I wanted to walk in and walk out, you're like, let's go across the street to the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, no, not good. Yeah, it's a little suspect. But another band that I wanted to highlight that so the Skid Row. Like
Skid Row.
I have always been
Are they in the news again? Skid Row.
They are. I have always been against bands who lose their lead singer. In my opinion, the lead singer is the band. So if the lead singer leaves or dies or whatever, very rarely outside of AC/DC can you replace and Van Halen, but can you replace your lead singer with somebody?
Van Halen did a really good job of it.
Exactly. Well, obviously AC/DC did too.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
But very rarely can you pull that off.
Who was the first one?
Bon Scott.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Right. So Skid Row has for what 25 years now since Sebastian's been out of the band. They've had different lead singers and it's just garbage. It's embarrassing. And I've been like, don't even go see Skid Row because it's not Sebastian.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not worth it.
So you know how Journey found Arnel Pineda to take over
like
Steve
the Filipino
Perry?
wonder.
Where he sounds so much like Steve Perry that you're like, yeah, I'll check it out. So they were touring in Europe and there was an opening band and the lead singer was warming up and the guys in Skid Row were like, yeah, we should do something with this guy, side project maybe. They started talking to him more and then they're like, wait a minute, we actually like this guy better than our lead singer. So they fired the lead singer and brought this guy in. And this guy's he's like 20 something years old kid. And
singing with like 50-year-olds or
yeah,
60-year-olds, whatever.
He sounds identical to Sebastian Bach.
Really? So now you're going to go see him?
Oh, they were just in town last week and I missed it. But I mean, like, I would totally go see Skid Row right now. And I encourage you to go to YouTube. Just look up Skid Row 2022. This kid sings perfectly, like almost as good as Sebastian back in 1987.
Wow. Well, he's got a young voice, so
that's
I'm
the
sure
thing. They can ride this kid out for 20, 30 more years.
I don't know how many more years they can go. I mean, technically, they're just
playing the
music.
instruments. Yeah, they can continue going on, but it's really the vocals. Sebastian doesn't sound anywhere near this guy's quality.
Not right now.
So what I'm saying is, I highly recommend if you see Skid Row in your town. Yeah, if you're a fan of Skid Row, they got a new album.
I'll go see him if they came local.
Yeah, they got a new album coming out. I think at like the end of May.
Not Baltimore local, but like
I get
like Jiffy Lube local.
Yeah, but definitely check them out. Last on the for my portion of the backstage pass, I saw a topic today that I thought was something good that I would throw out from a homework perspective, if you want to call it homework.
We haven't given it out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, because definitely I want people to write in, but the question was, what makes a song timeless? Like there's hits, right? We all know hits.
We've done this before.
No, we haven't.
We absolutely have.
Timeless. No,
We absolutely, or we did band.
We did
a band that was
so what I'm
timeless.
saying is there's hits that come out all the time and they're flash in the pan, you don't see them. What makes a song last forever? Like it's still going to be good. Like let's say Take on Me from Aha, right?
Timeless.
What makes that like how do you know that that's going to last from 1984 till 2050?
It may die out when our generation dies out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
So there's so many different variables that it could be. I kind of wanted to see what our audience was thinking on that too.
But I don't think so, because all these young bands that are always trying to make it like, 80s music is still always going to be around.
Yeah, but I think part of it is you need like a killer hook. Like you need that like.
Of course you need a hook.
Like or whatever you need the hook that's going to get people.
Like Billie Jean, like Thriller.
But I think that maybe it's the writing too. Like there's a whole bunch that goes into it. So I'm curious to see what people think. And that's what I wanted
like
to throw
the
out
Money
there.
for Nothing. That may be what I mean.
But like timeless, like Piano Man is a timeless. And that's
New York, timeless.
But like
My Way, timeless.
And like Piano Man has like he's just telling a story about America in a place
on
in
heaven's
time.
door, timeless.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm kind of curious to see what people think. And if you want to throw out songs that you think are
can't
timeless,
always get what you want. I think that's those are timeless songs.
Yeah, and songs that'll last generations and still be great.
Yeah. If it's lasted now for 50, 60 years, there's no reason why it would suddenly just stop.
But the main question is, what are those qualities? What are those qualities that makes a timeless song?
A hook, popularity. I would say the time of the song is. I would say maybe. I don't know, because some of these songs have longer than others.
That's what I'm saying. It's something to think about, and that's what I want the audience to do. Is write in with what you think makes a timeless song. And also
maybe attached to a movie, right time,
a memory, like a memory of a time and place. Like American Pie, Don McLean. That invokes memories. So anyway, write into subfactspodcast@gmail.com.
Absolutely. Write in.
Yes, we can now. I'm looking at the camera now. I don't think all last week. So once again, subfactspodcast@gmail.com. And what makes a song timeless? And if you have suggestions of songs that you think are timeless, feel free to add them, and we'll talk about them.
We will. Of course, we'll talk about them.
So, boom. With that being said,
we talk about everything.
We do have another section of Matt's Backstage Pass, but it has nothing to do with me because I didn't create it. But since we didn't have a warm-up, we have a game from producer Brian.
But we're doing the game now.
Yes, we're doing a game
mid-show.
Mid-show.
All right.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of cuckoo. We're getting nutty here.
All sorts of crazy things.
So this is called the Spotify game.
Uh-oh. I am going to be terrible.
I know nothing about it, but I don't mind Spotify. What's up, Brian?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm going to be terrible with all games.
All right. For some reason, I don't think this is showing up on the hold.
You know what? I was just about to give Brian props. Like he's becoming producer extraordinaire.
And then as soon as you went to compliment him, bam.
No, because like we could potentially get like Pete Rose or big guests.
Absolutely.
He got a sports
Brian
agent,
is
Mike Maguire.
A household name.
But now he messed up.
Yeah.
Brian.
Sorry, guys. So here we go.
Forward,
so here is the game. So which song has more all-time listens on Spotify? Is it Closer by Nine Inch Nails or Paranoid by Black Sabbath?
Oh, Paranoid by Black Sabbath. Easy answer.
Okay. Well, Paranoid is timeless. That's been played, and I think there's nobody that doesn't love that song. Closer, on the other hand,
I don't know that one. I mean, I know.
You totally know. F You Like an Animal.
Oh, that's Closer.
Yeah, that one. Both of them, I think, would be huge. But let's see, Paranoid doesn't count because when did Spotify come into play? I'm going to say Nine Inch Nails because of the fact that Paranoid was already huge way before Spotify even came out.
All right. I'm going Paranoid.
I'm going to go Closer by Nine Inch Nails. All right.
So Mooney's correct. It's Paranoid by 574 million to 161 million.
That's not even close. Yeah. Way to go.
All right. Next question. Which, again, same thing. Supermassive Black Hole by Muse or Salisbury Hill by Peter Gabriel?
Ooh,
Okay, so
I like Salisbury Hill.
I love Salisbury Hill, and I don't like Muse that much. I can't figure Muse out. So Muse is one of those bands that
Why would he pose that question? Because I don't even.
you don't know Muse, but Muse has a huge following. I don't get it. I really don't. I know the song. They used it in Twilight. It's on the
Oh God!
It's
Why
on the
did you
Twilight.
mention that
It's
movie?
on the
We're having a
Twilight
great
soundtrack.
show.
I don't necessarily
Awful.
like
Robert
Muse.
Pattinson. By the way, I saw a half-hour Batman.
It's awesome.
It's unwatchable.
No, it's fantastic.
The Batman's actually unwatchable.
Yeah, too bad you're wrong.
Yeah, I really
It's
liked it.
unwatchable.
All right, back to the
Thank
question.
you.
Let's
it's
keep playing the
unwatchable.
game.
I'm
Don't
gonna
ever watch it.
see. Here's the problem: is I think I'm gonna overthink this.
I'm gonna go Peter Gabriel.
See, I want to go Peter Gabriel too, but once again, I'm gonna overthink it. I'm gonna go Muse.
Matt is correct. 341 million. It's
Boom.
Muse.
Wow. He wasn't gonna do the same red herring twice in a row.
Yeah,
that's
right,
what I
that's
figured.
All right, next question. Life on Mars by David Bowie or I Can't Dance by Genesis?
Life on Mars by David Bowie.
Oh. Life on Mars by David Bowie. I agree.
Yeah, because David Bowie's had a huge resurgence since
I
he
Can't
died.
Dance is awesome.
You're both correct.
Yes.
234 million views or listens
Can't go wrong
for
with Bowie.
David Bowie.
Oh, he's pimp, dude.
Awesome.
The next one,
Ch-
is The Anthem by Good Charlotte or Adam's Song by Blink 182?
I love both of them.
I'm going Adam's Song. I have an affinity for Blink 182.
I have a soft spot specifically for Adam's Song. That's actually my favorite Blink 182 song, so I can't go against it.
Blink 182.
All right. Well,
Nope.
Unfortunately, no. It's The Anthem.
Ooh, that was
286
close.
million.
That was the closest.
The Anthem's a solid song too.
That was the closest out of all of them.
And I've met Good Charlotte, great guys, fantastic guys.
See, I don't really like Good Charlotte, but I'm sure they're good guys.
You'd love them if you got to hang out with them.
Dude, of course I would.
You totally would.
I just wouldn't ask them to sing
All right.
songs.
Here's one. Nirvana, Come As You Are or Linkin Park's In the End?
I can't even vote for Linkin Park. I hate Linkin Park.
Well, you know I hate
Come As You Are.
See, the thing is, I hate Nirvana, so I'm gonna go In the End by Linkin Park.
All right.
But I'm just gonna stress, I think the answer is Nirvana, but I want it to be Linkin Park.
All right, let's see.
All right. Well,
Bring it
it's
up.
actually Linkin Park by quite a bit. They have
Thank you, Linkin
1.2 billion versus 774 million.
Whoa!
Because Chester's got an awesome voice. All right.
I saw that number and I was like, wow, that was pretty big.
2
Yeah,
billion.
I never would have guessed.
Well, the thing is, they also when he passed
the other one
away,
was 775 million. That's huge.
no, like Nirvana is, how like growing up in the 80s, the Beatles were like the end all be all because they were 20 years removed. So for the younger generation, Nirvana is like what the Beatles were to us.
Right, that's true.
So they have a huge population of people that
Well, obviously not huge enough. In the end, won.
Like they weren't
a long shot.
They weren't even born when Kurt killed himself, but yet they're huge Nirvana fans. So that's why I was thinking that Nirvana was going to win. But Chester, when he passed away, once again, people were nostalgic for Linkin Park.
All right. Baba O'Reilly by The Who or Karma Police by Radiohead?
Oh, I have to vote for Karma Police. Better song.
I love Baba O'Reilly, so I don't mind Karma Police, but like Baba O'Reilly, that's my one of my favorite Who songs.
All right. It's actually Baba O'Reilly, 415 million to
Damn,
331
terrible.
million.
You got the first one right though.
Yeah, I got one right. Outstanding. No, I got the David.
All right, here's a good one.
Too.
Duality by Slipknot or Alive by Pearl Jam?
Please tell me it's not Slipknot. I'm voting Alive at Pearl Jam.
I want it to be Slipknot.
Why? Slipknot sucks.
Slipknot's fantastic, and so
they're not fantastic.
But Duality's not their biggest.
They're definitely not fantastic.
Duality's not their biggest song, whereas one could argue that Alive might be Pearl Jam's biggest song.
That's
so
one of their big
I'm gonna
ones.
go with Pearl Jam, even though I wish it was Slipknot.
It's actually Duality by Slipknot.
Really?
I was shocked at this. How does a Slipknot song have more than Alive by Pearl Jam?
Dude, Duality is
that's nuts.
Duality is such a great song. It's so
Come
good.
on.
I don't know that I've ever heard it or I even remember it.
You've heard it. It was big. It actually was on the radio quite a bit when it came
Yeah,
out.
for like 5 seconds. Great.
Yeah, you guys would check it out and you're gonna love it.
No, I will not love it
Don't
more than
think
alive.
BK and I aren't going to be driving up to Baltimore to see Limp Bizkit listening to some Slipknot. We're definitely doing it.
All right.
There's a much
There's
better.
no way it's better than I Feel Alive.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, stop.
All right. We Will Rock You by Queen or Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes.
I hate Seven Nation Army, so
Yeah, who
it's gonna
doesn't?
be We Will Rock You.
Of course, everyone hates the White Stripes.
Unfortunately, a lot of people like the White Stripes.
Oh my God!
No, it's the people that like sports
Wait a minute.
arenas.
The guy, our coworker, doesn't he like the White Stripes? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
No, what it is like every sports arena. Well, they do We Will Rock You, but now they play Seven Nation Army probably more because it's like
Well, that's why.
that whole
That's
Matt.
Oh, that's them. Yeah.
Yeah,
of
I hate
course.
that. song.
that's exactly why I paired these two up, because they're both like big sports.
Yeah,
sports
and I
movie
think
stuff.
they're taking over
Yeah.
the arena
Yeah,
sports
that's a
thing.
shame.
All right,
Yeah,
I
no
think this is
shame.
the last one, guys. It's Enter Sandman by Metallica or Mr. Brightside by The Killers.
Ooh, I like both, but I'm gonna go with Enter Sandman by Metallica.
I like both, and I will say Enter Sandman is probably one of my least favorite Metallica songs. As
What?
much as I love
What-
Metallica,
Was it on the Endless Loop that you had?
No, it was on the Black Album, which I liked all the stuff Black Album and prior, but mainly the prior stuff. Mr. Brightside, I don't like the Killers, but that's actually my favorite song from the Killers. So I'm gonna go Mr. Brightside.
Okay, I will go Enter Sandman.
Mr. Brightside, 1.4 billion.
I'm gonna go with Mr. Brightside. I got two right.
But you're
Never
Mr.
play this game again.
You are Mr. Brightside. You're like
We never need to play this game
I'm
again.
Mr. Brightside. I love this game. I
Of
could do
course,
this.
you love this game. You got
all-
every one right except one.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, well,
Now I've got
thanks for
Stuck in
playing
my
the game, guys.
Awesome. No,
Yay.
awesome. I appreciate losing every game. So
Cool.
Great. Thanks.
And then next up is movies of the week, which there isn't really anything coming out this week necessarily. It's all about Top Gun.
Wait a
2.
minute. Firestarter comes out this week. The remake.
Yeah,
Well,
no one
I mean,
cares.
yeah, no one cares. Though.
Even the original Firestarter, was it really that good?
No, it wasn't.
We
No,
all
it was
watched it
not.
because it was on HBO. But it was pretty long and boring.
I'm still a little pissed off that you really did like the Batman.
I
loved
like
it.
the Batman.
Right? People like it. Okay, because wow, they had good makeup on Colin Farrell as the
it
Joker.
was
as
much
the Penguin.
darker. It was like a cross between Saw and Batman. It was awesome.
It was just
Yeah,
you know,
and
it
I
was
liked how it was more of him being an actual detective and trying to solve the crime, and it wasn't just like
slow-moving,
instant.
It's just dull. It was dull. It was rainy. It was.
You were in a bad mood, Mr. Poopy Pants.
No,
when
it
came
wasn't. I
to
was
that.
watching. I was all excited. I had HBO free, and I couldn't even get like through the half hour. And then the Riddler with the mask on, whatever it was, I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, like I want to see your face.
I think if you watched more of it, you would appreciate it. I think you'd like it.
No,
Yeah,
I
think
just
you,
couldn't get.
I think you need to
It
hang
was
with
too dull, slow moving.
Anyway, it's
The
all,
best part is Catwoman. That was the best part.
okay.
Best part. Sorry, I'm sorry. Just not a good movie.
So I will say this: it's all
And
about.
by the way, it's the worst ranked Batman out of all the Batmans, and they're not even over yet. They can make 10 more, and they would all be better.
I think you're on your own island. Anyway, where we're not going to be on our own island is it's all about Top Gun 2. Top Gun 2. I will say this:
Well, you're using it now. It's not coming out the next weekend
I'm just too
or
excited.
2 weekends or whatever. I
Way
don't
too
even know.
excited. So Lady Gaga put out the first song from it, and the song's fantastic. But when you watch the video, if you just listen to the song, it's okay. When you watch the video, you see the old clips of like Maverick and Goose and all that kind of stuff. Fantastic. Already excited about the soundtrack, but the movie itself is getting solid reviews.
Of course,
Like-
it's going to be good reviews. Tom Cruise.
Like Variety put out a review today, and they were basically saying it's everything you want it to be.
Absolutely, it's Tom Cruise, and it's still got Tom Skerritt, and it's got the dude we love. What do you call it?
Val Kilmer? Oh no,
the
Miles Teller.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Miles Teller. He's a pimp.
I know Val Kilmer makes a cameo, but I don't know what the deal is. But you know he's not talking. But they said it's everything you want it to be. So it's not. No, it's not going to be like an Oscar winner. But if you love the 1986, you are going to love this, which means I'm going to love it, and it's going to be so
For us.
exciting.
I'm gonna freak out. It's gonna be awesome.
So with that being said, we were
Freak
talking.
out.
We were talking about. We've mentioned this quite a few times in the past, having a subfax viewing of Top Gun 2.
Yes.
So
I don't know how we're gonna put that together. It's very upon us.
producer Brian's on Fuego. My man's like really like stepping up.
Awesome. All right.
Maybe that review you gave him last time was pretty bad, and he's trying to step up his game for his next year's annual review. But I'm just kidding. You're like,
You
what?
review.
So my man's put the videos together.
That's awesome.
And so obviously we're not in a situation where we're renting out a theater and all that good
I
stuff.
wish that next year.
But if you are one of our listeners who are in the area or happen to be in the area, we're looking at Memorial Day weekend because that's when it comes out.
Right.
Probably midday because that way you're not,
Yeah.
there's a better chance of getting seats. But if you email subfaxpodcastproducer@gmail.com and say you want in, Brian's going to we'll find a theater, we'll
Okay.
get tickets ahead of time, and then any Subfax listener that wants to watch it with us,
Awesome.
then
They can do
we're
it.
going to make it happen. So
Boom.
once again, if you're interested and you're in the area, subfaxpodcastproducer@gmail.com.
Love it. Love it.
We're leaving it all up to Brian to figure out.
Okay.
So maybe he can throw in some Twizzlers. It'd be solid.
Twizzlers.
Good movie, Candy. So I'm excited. Memorial Day weekend, Top Gun 2. Can't wait.
That's gonna be awesome.
And with that being said, Mooney's Dugout.
Oh, that's right. I didn't go talk to I gotta get that Korean lady to introduce us.
I know. I'm going to be the Korean lady until that happens.
That's awesome. All right. So I don't know how I can't really, it's going to be very hard for me to do Mooney's Dugout because like we just had like an awesome sports section to start the show. I mean,
people look forward to the dugout.
I understand, but I mean, you can't compete with like the first half hour with.
It is a tough competition there.
I'm going to try.
You got this. I got faith in you.
So I was emailing back and forth with one of my clients today.
Mhm.
And she couldn't log into one of the things, and she was talking about, good old. She goes, I got in on try number 49, right? And I was like, good old try number 49.
Yeah.
And she likes the Cowboys, so I took a screenshot of a Cowboys player wearing 49. But I Googled it and like I couldn't find anyone who wore 49. I'm like, so I was like, does anyone wear 49 in any sport ever?
I know no 49s. Like I can speak for hockey. I don't know.
Yeah.
And trust me, if you're a big hockey fan, maybe you'll find a 49, but I can't think of one off the top of my head.
And you know me, I'm a huge sports fan. So guess what? Tim Wakefield, the guy he doesn't like, wore number 49.
Oh.
So the guy he was talking about who was dull?
Yeah.
Tim Wakefield, number 49. So that was pretty funny because he was talking about.
Yeah, Brian's pulling up.
Like 49s. None of these guys. Jamie Moore's nobody. Like these guys are complete nobodies. Well, Tim Wakefield. By the way, Tim Wakefield is not even that big of a name. And he's on that list as number 2.
But whose number? Like you pick your number because there's a sentimental thing. Does anybody have a 49 really? Is 49 anybody's favorite number?
No, not really.
No.
So what's crazy is everyone knows Michael Jordan is number 23.
Yes.
Right? Everybody.
Yes.
But there's tons of other famous athletes.
Isn't LeBron 23?
Yes. But the list goes on from there. So I was like, who else wore number 23? Marshawn Lynch, Frank Gore, Jimmy Butler, Ryan Sandberg, Devin Hester, Anthony Davis on the whatever you call it, Lakers, my boy Don Mattingly, Zach Greinke, Will Clark, Kirk Gibson, Blake Griffin, Dave Andrechuk, Bobby Nystrom, my boy from the Islander. Dude, Bobby Bonilla. Bobby Bonilla is coming. He wore number 23.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing.
Ron Artest. And by the way, and I'm leaving out like 10 names.
I'm going to steal from Pete Rose. If Michael Jordan is in the room with all of those people, you're the others.
All others.
That just lets you know how good Michael Jordan is. When he basically just goes, that whole list of top names, because I know who they are, he's like, you're another.
The only way it wouldn't be another is if Gretzky wore 23. That would be the only way.
Yeah.
Good. It's good that Gretzky wore 99 for Michael Jordan.
Yeah, which that would be so great if somebody's gonna other Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
It can only be Gretzky.
only be Gretzky.
And
Only.
Wayne, I know you're listening to the show or you're watching the show.
We know.
Please do me a favor. Call up Jordan. You know you got his number.
Dude.
Call up Jordan and just go, you're another.
Yeah, exactly. Loudoun County Brewing last night. Having a beer with my brother, catching up. One of the guys that always I hang out with, he was like, oh, he's always there. So he's one who suggests I get a Hofstra hat, which I'm wearing.
Hofstra.
Hofstra. So
where is Hofstra?
It's in New York.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, New York. It's where the Jets used to hold practice for the longest time. Wayne Corbett, one of our best players ever, is from there.
Okay.
So, where was I going?
I don't know. You said something about being at a sports bar, but you're always at a sports bar, so I can't tell where that.
Oh, that's right. So the same dude, he was like, "Oh my, dude, we're getting into about Ovi," and he's like, "Ovi, best goal scorer of all time." I was like,
"Oh, no chance."
I was like, he was talking about how many goals this year. I was like, "Yeah, only 40 of them are from the left circle." I was like, "Come on, dude."
Yeah, terrible. And I just saw that same stat again that Gretzky. It's just to show how great he is. Yager is in second place to Gretzky on the points scored.
Yeah.
And basically they said something like
you could double him.
No, all 93 other people on that list wouldn't get to Gretzky.
Yeah, it's
the difference between Gretzky and Yager.
So it's quite ridiculous. The NFL schedule releases today.
Boom.
I'm actually getting a lot of text messages right now. It was released at 8:00, and people are going nuts about who our teams play.
I think the Commanders have a good schedule because they're easier teams, which we need.
I don't know if you play on Thanksgiving though. You should, because you've been playing on Thanksgiving the last.
Yeah, but
they do. The 12:30 game is against the Lions. Commanders and Lions.
Oh, easy. See, that's what I'm saying. We have easier teams. I looked at the schedule and I'm like, we can actually win some games. I'm shocked, but we can.
Oh, we'll get it. We're gonna go back to it in a second, but we're gonna do some quick. Oh, by the way, awful. NFL Thursday games are now on Amazon. This year they're going to be on.
Dude, I got you.
They're going to be on NFL Network for one more year, and then it's going to be Amazon only, which is awful.
No, we're not sharing my password.
Never mind. Apparently, I'm wrong. It's not. It's Bills Lions.
Yeah, I was going to say the Bills play the Lions on.
Ryan, you took a turn for the
somebody
worst, my
told
friend.
me it was the Commanders.
But I didn't.
Somebody told me it was Commanders Lions. I don't know.
Patriots Vikings.
Hey, can you do me a favor before you reach back out to try to get Pete Rose on the show?
Yeah.
Maybe just chill a little bit.
Yeah,
relax.
make sure you're on your game. Our energy or whatever. I don't know. And then we're gonna go back to your Commanders in a second. Most popular over/under bets, essentially over/under. So what Vegas does every year is they put win totals on teams before the year starts, and you can bet on win totals. So the most bet win total right now is the New York Jets at 5.5.
Boom.
A ton of people are betting the over.
Because they had a solid draft.
Right. A ton of people are betting the over. So the highest over/under is a Bills and Chiefs at 11.5 wins. The lowest are the Texans and the Falcons at 4.5 wins. Commanders are at 7.5. That's a hard bet. Hard bet. I don't know.
I might go over. No, I take it because this is where the Commanders might.
But you got to go over or under. What do you do? 7.5.
You go over. It's 8
over
because they'll 8 and
9.
8 and 9.
All right. Still losing record.
It's still a losing record, but that's what they do. They never suck so bad where we get like an awesome draft pick. They always do middle of the road.
They do enough to completely after a draft order.
They completely go out of their way to screw me in the draft. So they'll be 8 and 9.
Now Browns are off the board, which I was like, why didn't you have anything on the Browns? Because the reason and I do know the Browns, why they're off the board right now, it just came to me because Deshaun Watson, they don't know what his suspension will be yet. So once his suspension comes out, then they'll know.
Boom.
But going back to your Commanders, I'm calling liar face.
Oh, we were going to get to that later, but we can do it now.
Okay. I'm sorry, but I caught a call liar face to your new boy, Sam Howell.
Sam Howell.
Can you set this up, please? Liar face.
Okay, and I'm going to say that. So 5th round draft pick, Sam Howell. for the Commanders, quarterback.
From North Carolina, University of North Carolina.
So he mentioned, and I think it was like Instagram or something along those lines, but they were talking about his diet, and he basically said that he's never eaten a cheeseburger, steak, and or seafood in his whole entire life.
Yeah, right.
He only said he only eats chicken. He's only from a meat perspective.
And I'm better looking than my brother.
I know. He said the only meat that he'll eat is chicken. And but see what scared me? I was waiting for him to say the P word because I'm like, that would be tough if he said pizza. He didn't eat pizza because he said when I look for a restaurant, I make sure that it's got some form of a chicken option. He specifically said he likes chicken strips and or nuggets. But
what is he, 5?
I guess so. But the thing is, he never mentioned pizza. But first of all, if you've never had a cheeseburger, I don't want you playing for my team.
No, absolutely not.
But God forbid he ever said pizza. That's a whole nother.
I would actually stop rooting for the team.
At that point, the commissioner needs to step in and kick him out of the league.
He should be kicked out of the league. Never had a steak or burger or seafood.
I get. See, if he was
in fact, I don't even think I eat anything other than those options.
So like, I'm allergic to shellfish. So I'll say, look, if you haven't had seafood, I get it because you could be allergic to it.
Sure, but he's not allergic to ground beef.
I've never met anybody in my life that was allergic to a steak and or a cheeseburger
or ground beef.
It doesn't exist. There is no.
So
allergy.
He's never had ground beef with cheese, bacon, and an egg.
And his parents need to be punched in the face. His parents. I blame his parents because how
Here's
do
the
you
thing.
survive?
That's why I call Liarface, and that's the only reason. There is no way this kid has made it through 18 or 17 years of living at home without being ever served steak or a cheeseburger or going over friends' houses for a barbecue, right?
Yeah.
What does he do? The dad's not barbecuing chicken fingers. He doesn't have like a fryer on the side and go, hey, hold on, Sam, I got some chicken fingers in the fryer for you.
No chance on like 4th of July comes along. And the fact that he specifically said the only meat he eats is chicken. So that's cutting out hot dogs.
Yeah.
That's cutting out like pepperoni for pizza.
Unless you do chicken pepperoni.
It cuts out sausage.
Or turkey pepperoni.
Is that really pepperoni?
No, not really. Sorry.
Wow. You're offending me at this point. So what I'm saying is
you're offending me.
It cuts out like everything.
Sam Howell's offensiveness and me commenting makes
so what we're saying is if he were to eat pizza, he's going straight cheese and or chicken on his pizza.
I already don't like the guy. I won't I'll spit on people wearing his jersey. That's how mad I am.
That would just be so great. Some poor schmo was walking down the street and you're like hocking a loogie on him. It's because your boy doesn't eat pizza.
Like, what was that about?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I don't get it.
Please don't buy the boy a Howell jersey. Please.
Chance. We're gonna mess him up so bad anyway. He'll never play.
Seriously, if he asks and says, Dad, I want a Howell jersey, say no. You have to.
I don't think they should even make a Howell jersey because he'll probably never play.
Yeah.
Like Carson Wentz.
According to Wallpaper, he's the steal of the draft.
Well, what is Wallpaper now? But it's terrible. So yeah, we're doing a segment later on of Dummies of the Week, and he was one of the dummies. We've still got some more dummies because this week was
sorry, I stole one of the dummies.
This week was chock full of dummies, folks.
Chock full of dummies.
And
is that the show name?
Yes.
The show name is either The Others or Chock full of dummies.
Chock full of dummies. Dummios.
Dummios.
So, did you have anything else for your Mooney's dugout?
I did not. I wanted to big surprise, another NFL player got arrested for domestic violence.
Oh, it's another Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. It's Wednesday in the NFL. This time, Jerry Jeudy.
If any, I don't even know. He's
receiver for the Broncos.
Yeah, that's it. So what I
young too, like second or third year.
They should almost have a class.
By the way, get this. They have some sort of I wish maybe producer Brian can look it up. It says domestic violence, something of their escalated domestic violence. Like there's a domestic violence ordinance in Denver. Like it doesn't work like it does in other cities or states. It's really weird.
Well, we'll get a legal expert in later, but the whole thing is.
Can you get a lawyer on for next week? Thanks, Brian.
So I don't know why the league just doesn't have like hey, if you haven't been convicted of a domestic violence, you go to
Yeah.
this side of the room.
Yeah.
You guys go to this side, and let's have a class of how
Right,
to
what is-
not have a.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is there, like 15 people on the left side?
That's what I'm saying. There's nobody. Like, do you think that they're feeling bad because they come home and they like, honey, it sucks that I love you and I don't want to kick you or anything because all the other guys have domestic disputes and I don't.
Right. Do you think some of them like make up something just to like so they
Yeah, because they can get street cred. Like you need
Right.
street cred in the locker room, and if you haven't had a domestic violence, then you've screwed up.
right, like, honey, like, hey, like, what's the best, you know, like,
Yeah,
sorry, you know, we're, you know, like you make up, right? Do some
Mhm.
makeup and make it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the person in the locker room that hasn't had a domestic dispute is probably the guy who has to clean up the towels and stuff afterwards. You know, he gets the towels snapped at him and stuff in the showers because
Unbelievable.
he's the one guy who hasn't had a domestic dispute in the NFL. So
I'm still geeking over our Mike Maguire and the fact that we might get Pete Rose on the show. If we get Pete Rose on the show, I'm actually going to
cry.
dance the jig and cry on the show. I'm gonna dance the jig on the show.
That would be fantastic.
I'm gonna learn how to dance the jig.
I don't
and I'm
even
gonna
know what the
dance it on
jig
show.
is. Is it like the Charleston? It's
I don't know.
an
Like
old
Bruce
school-
Willis dances it in Last Boy Scout, and I always say dance the jig.
Oh,
So I'm gonna learn how to dance it, and I'm gonna dance it on the show.
like that.
100%.
I think that would be almost a sign of like us making it. You know what I mean? Like a Pete Rose on the show. That
You
would be-
know he's got followers.
Oh.
All he's got to do is like to his like Twitter account. Hey, I did an interview on Subfacts.
Yeah.
Bink and
And I don't even want to talk baseball with him. Like I want to hear the stories outside of baseball.
oh, dude, you gotta talk some baseball with him, but you gotta hear these stories outside
you
of
know
baseball.
the stories are gonna be nuts.
And you know, me and him are gonna bond over our affinity. For
we
Asian women.
might have to put a little NSFW on that show because you know it's gonna get crazy.
And I'm not lying. I do want like his fiance to sign my hat along with Pete Rose. I'll be like, hey Pete, love your signature. Can you get your wife to sign too?
Just know we know a guy now. We know a guy that can make that happen.
Because that's the girl from the commercial.
Yeah.
You know the commercial with Pete
Yeah,
Rose.
it's
It's
I
the best
think
commercial ever.
It's like Speed Stick or something like that.
No. It's is it Speed Stick?
Yeah, it's like Speed Stick. or
Where she
something.
goes like, you know, you're not supposed to be in the hall, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she is quite fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Way to go, Pete Rose.
hello. Yep, Brian's got the picture.
And by the way, Pete Rose is up there in like the top 10, 15 of like athletes in their game. That guy's got the hits record, and he's not. I mean, he's like amazing.
Yeah.
Batter. He was like this
well,
guy.
no, he absolutely, in my opinion, should be in the Hall of Fame.
It's not even a question.
Absolutely. I just think with all the other people that have asterisks around their names, he could have an
Right.
asterisk, but should 100% be in.
100%.
Yeah, because he wasn't juicing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't cheat.
He didn't do anything.
He didn't cheat in the physical sense,
He bet on games,
which has not, like I said,
which people have been doing forever.
yeah, and at no point he didn't take dives. He didn't do any of that stuff.
I bet you if you go back to the Mickey Mantle games, Mickey Mantle bet on
I'm
on
sure.
games.
I'm sure. Like I said, I have a more problem if the person was juicing, getting in versus the person who, based on skill, you
Yeah.
know, had some infractions outside of work. You know, that guy should be in.
Big deal. Like, come on.
We'll chat it up with him
Awesome.
once Brian makes it happen.
Make it happen.
Boom. Anything else for Mooney's Dugout?
That's it.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to bring up, I have mixed feelings about it, but from TV this week, Mike Myers' new series on Netflix called
Pentaverate or
no,
something?
it's the Pentaverate.
Oh, the Pentaverate.
So the Pentaverate.
So that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, what reminded me of the Pentaverate was did you see So I Married an Axe Murderer? I'm sure you did.
Love it.
So you know, he'd pants
Yeah,
down. Yeah, the dad was talking about Colonel Sanders being a member of the Pentaverate, who like it's 5 guys like the Illuminati that run the world. And so the show is basically Mike Myers doing what Mike Myers does.
all voices and characters.
He does all the like basically every character. And I will say this. It is not as funny as like Austin Powers, stuff like that.
Of course not.
But for me, I missed Mike Myers. Yeah, well, Mike Myers has been gone for 15
long time.
plus years, And so for me, it's been more nostalgic. You can't binge it. It's not good enough to
Yeah.
binge
But you
every
can
show
watch
in
every
one
week
day.
or so.
Yeah, I would suggest watching maybe 1 or 2 episodes a week
All right.
and do it that way. But if you like Mike Myers, I personally I think it's funny. I think he's funny, even though a lot of the jokes are the same rehashed jokes from Austin Powers. But I think it's funny. So it's called the Pentaverate. There's a lot of Canadian humor because he's Canadian, obviously. But what I thought was the funniest thing one of the most interesting things about it is, in Austin Powers, you know how Dr. Evil was basically his impersonation of Lorne Michaels from Saturday Night Live.
Yep.
So now I can never hear Lorne Michaels without thinking of Dr. Evil. And so in the Pentaverate, there's 5 guys.
5 of them.
And one of the guys in the Pentaverate is Shep Gordon,
Oh no.
which is basically Mike Myers'
Gordon
manager.
Ramsay?
No, it's Shep Gordon.
Oh, Shep Gordon.
So he's Mike Myers' manager in real life. And Shep Gordon, Mike did a documentary on him a couple years ago, and he's like the manager for Alice Cooper and a bunch of other people. But so that whole inside joke is Mike Myers just basically, for lack of better terms, taking a piss out of Shep Gordon on every time you see him. It's for me,
you'd
I
have
think
to know Shep Gordon though, which is hard.
I don't really know his inner workings, but the fact that Mike Myers is literally doing an impersonation of his manager, who he spent so much time with,
that's pretty cool.
It's pretty funny. Like there's all these little subtle jokes, and you're like, Shep is probably like, really, dude.
He's going to be funny, but he's getting notoriety. How can you not like that?
Absolutely. But anyway, the show is called the Pentaverate. I enjoy it. If you like Mike Myers, you'll probably really enjoy it as well. If you get annoyed with it,
I probably won't watch it. Because I'm not. TV's hard for me. TV's really.
Like I said, watch 1 episode a week. Don't binge it. It's definitely not a binge thing.
I still got to watch After Party. That's
the
my
After
next
Party. Brian finished it and loved it too.
That's my next conquest. After Party's next.
I finished it too.
That's After Party, right?
Yeah. After Party's fantastic. Now we're up to that was it for TV, really. The Pentaverate's something I think people could check out. We're now up to the dummy. We're going to end it with the dummies of the week.
Love it. Love dummies.
There's a few dummies of the week, as I mentioned earlier. First dummy of the week is our boy, not really our boy, but James Cromwell.
Man, this is so disappointing.
James Cromwell is one of those old actors, character actor that everybody has seen him. He always plays like a scumbag politician or a bad guy or a board member somewhere.
He's the owner in iRobot.
Yeah, like he's always like a stiff bad guy kind of.
Yeah,
he's
never a good guy.
He's like a businessman, board member kind of guy. So this dude, this is how stupid he is. So Starbucks has got like the different versions of milk. Like they have like almond milk and cashew milk and stuff that's not milk.
Can you just have milk?
So this dude is bitter because there's an upcharge for milk that's not milk. So if it's vegan milk,
you get an upcharge.
There's an upcharge. And so this guy,
which there should be, because
it
costs more. It costs more, James. It costs more.
So he thinks he's doing it from like an environmental PETA. He was along with PETA. And the dumbest thing about it is milk, as far as I know, does not actually hurt a cow.
No, it doesn't. They're not killing a cow. No, it doesn't.
But for like almond milk, it takes like 16,000 gallons of water to produce like 1 liter of almond milk. So who is it really benefiting? Like from an earth perspective, it's definitely not doing that good. So this dummy decides to super glue his hand to a countertop at a Starbucks to protest.
What a loser.
I hate protesters as it is.
If he was going to be on the show, I'd say, no, you're dumb.
Where is his agent? I could go, look, that's the dumbest cause I've ever heard in my life.
If I were about to hire him for a movie, I would not hire him anymore.
Like, he can't afford the upcharge on a mocha latte, whatever.
Of course he can.
Dummy.
Dummy. No, I'm going to glue my hand to the thing. Vegan milk. Okay, it's more expensive, James. It costs more.
Yeah.
So they have to charge more.
Yeah. If you want your stupid milk, then you're going to have to pay for it.
Very easy. Very simple.
And
Very simple
by the way,
concept.
what did James Cromwell do prior to all this almond milk, cashew milk? Let's say, what did he do
Yeah,
in the
where was he before?
90s?
I never heard his name before.
Yeah, in the
Standing up
90s.
for the vegans.
Yeah, in the 90s.
Vegans just didn't come around last week.
Yeah, he just drank some normal milk. I have no idea. I want somebody who's a vegan or whatever who's passionate about this. Explain to me why cow's milk is not good.
Yeah,
It doesn't impact anything.
it doesn't. It's
You're not killing the cow.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Quite frankly,
he's
it
a
looks
real
like it's
dummy.
probably more of a release for the cow.
He
too.
might be dummy of the year.
Oh, he's definitely a dummy. The second dummy of the week. This will be our final dummy since you covered
Sam Howell.
Howell earlier. This dude is extra dumb. So
Extra dumb.
There's a guy who was like, "Hey, I think I'm going to commit a robbery," which is
Fine.
to each
People
his
commit
own.
robberies
Exactly.
all the time.
But he decides he wants to commit a robbery in a concealed weapons carry class. So basically, it's people who want to have a concealed weapon, and it's a class on how to like do it safely and all that. So he tries to rob that kind of class.
Why would you rob a class where everyone has a gun?
Do you know how dumb this guy is? He actually got shot dead by all of the people in that class.
He deserves it.
Absolutely. Like first of all,
didn't he attack the cop?
He did. So in the class, he got busted trying to rummage through somebody's bag, and so they kicked him out. On his way out, the police showed up, and then he had like a screwdriver or something that he attacked the police officer.
And then
but it was funny because
and then he tried to run away and got pop, 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 pop.
Not only did like the police officer go to shoot, but there's a whole class of people. You know they're looking for their first kill. You know they are.
Yeah, I mean, why would you try to rob?
Let me rob a gun course,
a gun club, or a gun thing, or like that is redonkulous.
Yeah, that guy.
It's the worst place you can try to rob a gun. If you're gonna rob a gun from like Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah,
you know why?
Go to Walmart.
Because there are tons. Yeah, go to Walmart because there's tons of people there. Like no one's gonna really care. No, you could probably get the gun. The person behind the counter is probably like 23 and doesn't care that you're going to steal the gun.
Yeah, and they're not going to shoot you.
Right? They don't have a lifelong bond with shooting guns and learning about like these people that are gun enthusiasts. Don't steal from them.
No,
steal from
See, here's the thing. I'm not a gun enthusiast.
Charlie Crew at the the Walmart working for $15 an hour. Okay, steal the gun. I don't care.
I'm not a gun enthusiast, so I'm not a guy. I don't own a gun. But the thing is, if I owned a gun and I was properly trained, there would be a part of me that would, if I knew it was a legal situation that I wasn't going to get in trouble, part of me would want to shoot somebody.
Jesus.
I'm not going to lie. I probably would.
Okay, there, Mr. Big Game.
So,
Jesus.
No, but what I'm saying is,
Matt's a hunter now. Okay, great.
I'm not saying I am. I'm saying there would be a little part in the back that would
little Matt on the shoulder would go.
There's always, the gun people who are
right?
like, yeah, there's people that are like, oh, if that guy broke into my house, I'd shoot him dead.
And then that's your save the day experience.
That's what I'm saying. That's the guy who they just want to be able to push that little trigger.
They don't want to be another. They've been living their whole lives as other. They don't want to be the other.
This guy went to a class to rob from those people.
What a dumb face.
Absolutely dummy. And he deserved to be shot dead. And you know what? His family can't get pissed. They can't sue.
Nope. They can't.
Because they're going to go, look, you raised such a stupid guy that he couldn't rob anywhere else.
There's video of him attacking a cop with a screwdriver and running off.
Complete dummy face.
Dummy face.
So, anyway, with that being said.
But see, I don't know if you can add Sam Howell to that bunch. Because he's also a dummy, but he's a liar. I think he's a flat out liar.
So you don't even buy into the fact that
I don't believe him at all.
That he's never tried a cheeseburger.
No, I don't believe him one bit.
What I thought about was maybe he said hamburger because he eats a ton of cheeseburgers. And like, I'll be honest with you, I can't tell you when I've ever had a hamburger because I need cheeseburger.
I like to think that. Maybe that'll save the day.
Maybe.
What was that?
Doodly-doo.
I think Brian's like this.
Actually, I don't think that was him. I think that was
you.
That was me.
Oh, way to go!
Sorry,
both of you interrupting.
I'm a stand-up guy like your mom. I admit it.
Mingling's mom.
Yeah.
Is
so
all right.
So anyway, we'll give Sam Howell the benefit of the doubt.
You know who I do believe?
Who?
Andy at Creative Underground. I believe anything that dude tells me